Hello, Hola, Bonjour, hey, y'all. My name is Merc. Welcome back to the Narc Alert. And it's hump day, everybody. It's 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 hump day. It's been a long time since we said that. Things move on. We move on from things, right? And Mr. Man is here. Of course, he's waiting because he actually literally hasn't eaten food since last Wednesday, so he's starving to death. He's starving. He hasn't eaten in a week. He's been screaming at me for like an hour. I'm going, like, dude, it's not even supper time. It's 3:00. Settle down. How's everybody doing? Midweek? Midweek blues for those of you who are working? Hey, thank you, Jan. What? I know. Should we just get on with the mukbang and get him done with? Because look at the look. I'm getting a dirty-eyed stare. Oh, Penelope, I'm very sorry to hear that. Did you need some rags? Can we get you a face cloth? Let's just feed him. He's going to go crazy. I've got his food right here. We'll put his camera on. We'll give him the big screen. All right, boo-boo, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Over here. Yeah, come on. Over here. Look. Oh. All right, there you have your... You could hear him meowing. That's what he's like before the camera goes on, like nonstop for an hour. Look how cute he is, though. Look how he's destroyed my couch. It's a pet thing, right? He's much more fun to watch than Amber when she's eating, isn't she? Hey, I don't have a lot to say, but I did want to say, who was first? You know who was first today? Coco Loco. It's such a fucking dad joke. I can't stop. Followed quickly by Heather and Kaz. So that was our top three. That isn't my couch, it's Rio's couch. Yeah, it kind of is. Like, he's destroyed the bottom of it because in the morning he likes to lay down on his side and drag himself along the bottom of the couch. And I was meaning to get some plastic stuff to put on there, but it's almost too late now. What are you going to do when you love your babies? You let them get away with murder. Murder. All right, let's put him in his place. Move this over a little bit. Oh, I guess I could just move this over a little bit. There. So, hey, I got nothing much to say today. The Amberverse has been blowing up. Oh, Lainey, our mod Lainey is here. I hope you're feeling better. Lainey had to take the afternoon off work because of explosive diarrhea, apparently. Weird. You can send that to your boss now. Just clip that part. We could also maybe get some washcloths for Lainey. Are we just gonna have? Maybe I should just buy some in bulk and we can just distribute them as you come in the chat. You just get a cloth. Get your own personal cloth. What the hell is going on in the Amberverse? We're going to get right into it because we don't have much else to say that's of any interest other than what the hell's going on in the Amberverse. I ordered Timmy's for lunch. Let's do this first. A quick little. So Tim Hortons, if you're Canadian, you know Tim Hortons has a contest they call Roll Up the Rim, where they put these... I never win. I never win. So Let's watch Merc not win. You roll up the part of the rim and there's a prize on it. And it's friggin' hard to do. Let's see. What did I win? Cross your fingers. Oh, big surprise. Not even a free damn coffee. I'm trying to make it so you can see it. See, then you roll up the rim and you get this. Mine says, of course, please, because we're Canadian. Please play again. Lucy says, Merc, I heard if you do it online, do it between 3 and 5 a.m., you can roll up the rim online now? Probably. Penelope, thank you. Penelope said they weren't feeling well. Donations for the washcloth Laney Fund. Well, Penelope, you said you needed some too. This community is just so giving to each other. All right, so yesterday, one more thing. I awoke to the most beautiful email from Alert today. You know who you are if you're here, and I'm going to get back to you this afternoon. Yesterday, I woke up late, and Beck had premiered a video. And it was a comment on the Amber stream. So a few people said it was kind of boring, but I wanted to watch it, so we watched it, and it's actually really good. I gotta say, I props, stand up and clap for Beck. There's a lot of controversies in this community, but you can form opinions on things without delving into every deep controversy. And I just want to say, on the surface level, from strictly looking at Beck and somebody who's dealing with a narcissist and dealing with surviving a narcissist, I'm so impressed with their solo videos. They handle themselves with grace and aplomb. They're saying all the right things. It feels like true healing to me, what they're doing. I don't think they're going to keep talking about Amber for long. I hope they don't. Thank you, Blair, for becoming a member today. So I was really impressed with Beck's video. So I wanted to take a look at the Beck video. And we're going to do a recap of the Amber live stream. We watched it last night. We all went over to Laney's. We watched the premiere. I premiered a video last night. If you haven't seen it, it's part 2. It's a Narc Alert look at this Amber live stream. Oh, Blairin coming in hot right off the bat. Thank you for gifting 10 members. Holy cow. We love that. I forget completely what I was saying. Blairin just, oh my God, Ratbat. Holy crap, you guys. To feed a starving Rio. Thank you for that. Oh, guys, you're flipping me out today. This community is so giving. I'm kidding, but I'm serious. And Jess coming in with her every single live stream. Like the video, please. Okay, bye. Thank you, Jess. Oh, Rio's done eating. I'll move the camera and then we'll get started in earnest, I promise. I'll put the camera there. I'm hedging my bets. That's where he's going to end up. I know we need him for this one. He'll come back. He's just fannying around. Villainous Fox, thank you for 5 members. Holy cow. Guys, what are you doing to me today? Hang on. Villainous Fox, thank you for 5 members. And Sophie, thank you for the New Zealand super chat, super sticker. It's a little heart thing. It's so cutesy. Thank you. My goodness gracious. Ludi says, do you dye your own hair? I do my own hair because, as you know, Merc is cheap. I'm a cheap bitch. All I want to do is travel. I need to save all my shekels for plane tickets. So I have to do everything myself. Oh, look who there he is. I told you. I just did my roots. No, see, look. About a week ago. Not much root. I'm really bad at straight parts though, so you can shame me for that. Thank you very much. And not a sponsor, but I highly recommend, if you do color your hair, look into Biolage color depositing conditioners. They're intense. They're as strong as like a demi-permanent color, but it's a conditioner and it rinses out and it leaves your hair like baby soft. So that's that. Coco says, I'm a broke ass bitch. I haven't been to I call Camille, my hairdresser, like maybe twice a year. Maybe. I haven't seen her since 4 months before the Amazon. About a year. So once in a while I call her. She gives me a really good solid cut that I can just grow into. Like, look at it's been a year since I had a cut and it's all right. Plus I like it. She comes to my house. Makes it so easy. And she's an old friend. She gave me dreadlocks when I was 25. Like, she's been doing my hair for a million years. So anyway, enough about my hair. This is not hair chat. We're here to talk about Amberlynn Reid. Hey, Angelina, how you doing? Thank you, coffee. You guys are just being too nice today. Pharmacist is number one. Here's Heather. Heather was second. And they're here. She's here. Guys, did I tell you the other day? I'm trying so hard with pronouns that if I know somebody's a she, like a couple of my mods, Lainey and Ella, absolutely identify as she. When I speak of them and I say she, I get scared. I'm like, should I have said that? Like, I'm so scared now whenever I say pronoun, and I know we should just maybe then default to they. Oh, but it's just so tricky. I'm gonna say before we get into it, the whole Amber thing. No, I won't. We'll cross that line when we come to it. Should we look? Oh, the other thing I want to say is I want to wrap it up definitely by 6. I know Beck's going live at 6, and a lot of you guys are going to want to jump over and watch that, and I don't want to absolutely keep you away from that. I think let's do this chronologically. Let's look at the Beck video first, and then the Amber live. Well, that's a reaction to the Beck video. Yeah, we'll sort out the pronoun thing, me and society as a whole, eventually. We don't have to get uppity about it. We'll figure it out. Eventually, we'll all get there. I get that defaulting to they is, if you don't know, certainly defaulting to they. But I don't want to always default everybody to they. Like, I'm she. I would rather be she. Am I allowed to prefer that? I'm not insulted by they. I'm just, because anyway, I think we'll all get there eventually. If we just go easy on each other and help each other out, we will get there eventually. And now, knock on wood, I'm going to jinx myself. I think in the last 24 hours, a switch went off in my head with Beck, and I think I'm better at they. I did last night, I think I didn't make one mistake. So fingers crossed, if I make a mistake, it's not conscious. I'm trying very hard. See, a lot of you are agreeing with me. You wouldn't like to be called a they if you're not a they. Yeah, see, that's fair. We are all allowed. Every one of us is allowed to have a preferred pronoun, right? So I think defaulting to they if you don't know is good. But how about, there's a few conversations that I hate, and one of them is this gender thing. Just respect each other. That's all I ask. In this chat, let's just all respect each other. It's not hard. The other thing I'm going to do is, this Beck video is quite long. I'm going to skip over some of it, and I'll tell you full transparency. I'm going to skip over all of the money stuff. I don't care. I I don't care. I think there might be, like even Amber said. God, I'm quoting Amber Lynn. There's three sides to every story. Yours, theirs, and the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. That's kind of where I'm sitting with the whole money and the bank accounts and stuff. And it's too detailed. It's too much about stuff that we will never have proof of, and I find it tedious. So I'm going to skip over the banking stuff. We have enough stuff to cover. Okay. All right. We got Rio here. We're all good to go. We're all set now, right? Oh, Phoenix is here. Acid washed. Rio has a fan. Phoenix. Rio, Phoenix is here. Okay. All right. Oh my God, you guys, I have done research today. I have got notes. Okay. I have got 5 pages of notes for the Amber recap, and I have timestamps for the Beck video. I'm like a damn real researcher, I'm like a serious YouTube guys. I'm a serious YouTuber today. And I got timestamps. All right, let's listen to her intro. Their intro. Okay, I slipped, but I caught myself immediately before you did. Okay, I won't stop every 2 seconds, but I want to say, oh, there's some mail I'm waiting for. I love the elevator music. I love the elevator music that Beck uses. They picked great music. And while she's talking, I'm gonna go grab this piece of mail that came under my door. It's something I've been waiting for. Share React, I promise you.
Hey everyone. If you felt crazy after watching everything unfold last week, you're not alone. Trust me, I'm feeling it myself. There's been so much coming out, it's been really hard to keep up. Between reactions and live streams and the podcast with
Wasn't
Casey
what I
and
was
now
waiting for.
Amber's last live stream on Thursday, it has just all been overwhelming. Amber's live was hard for me to watch. It brought up a lot of emotions I've had to confront. Her language, outlook, and how she twists everything was very triggering. And some of it was clearly an attempt to attack my character and discredit me and what I've said about her.
Which is what a narc does. And again, shout out to Beck. In a short period of time, they've become a way better YouTuber than Amber ever could. They're not even showing their face here. They could, but they don't have to, and they do it in a way that makes it at least mildly compelling to watch. A hell of a lot better than anything Amber's done.
Because of that, I had to comb through everything she said, take notes, and try my best to wrap my head around what was going on. Reaction channels have really helped so much with that, and it's difficult seeing
I was on the bottom of the list. I made the list, you guys. I made the list. I'm chuffed.
so many people watch her lie about me and others while trying to manipulate the narrative. But they remember things even I don't remember sometimes, and getting the outside perspective has been incredibly important and enlightening. I've been trying.
I hope, for years now, we've been saying, I don't want anything out of Beck. I don't need to use Beck for clout. I don't want anything out of Beck. I've just always really hoped that they'd be able to watch my videos and see some stuff and realize that they're not fucking crazy. And if that happened even a little bit, I'm so happy.
Trying to keep myself from having to address her directly most of the time. I did consider making this video at her specifically, but when I was writing this, I found out that she wasn't who I wanted to talk to. I wanted to tell you what I thought and what I'm feeling. This is all.
Hey, Ingeborg, thank you so much for 5 new alerts. Ingy's renting herself 5 alerts. Thank you, Ingeborg.
Really new to me. Yes, I've talked about our past relationship before, but not to the extent I have the last month or so. And I've been on YouTube in the past, but I've never had this amount of support behind me until recently. Now, with more public support comes more attention and more expectations. I knew talking about her again would bring a lot of eyes my way, and I don't want to let anyone down, but I can't stand by and let
I would like to shout out a little warning to Beck, not that they're gonna watch this, but um the people on the internet who hold you the highest on their shoulders are also the ones that are eventually going to throw you to the ground the hardest. So just be real careful. Just be real careful.
fear stop me from talking about what I went through and bringing awareness to covert narcissism and mental, emotional, and financial abuse. All abuse survivors deserve to be advocated for, whether it is physical or psychological. Amber herself was once a victim of abuse
Thank you, Ingeborg. Almost 2 damn years. Almost 2 damn years Asper's been here. I mean, Ingeborg's been here.
in her childhood, but she has continuously weaponized her trauma to manipulate people into getting her way in many different.
Blair, holy shit. Blair just gifted 50 members. Holy shit, Blair. I don't even know what to say to that. Damn. Okay, this is why Blair's my favorite. And you can clip that and use it, all the mods do. Blair, that's extremely generous. Thank you so much. I want to make sure now. I think Blair is an acceptable short form. I'm going to stick with that. Holy shit, Blair. Thank you so much. If you're keeping track, we now have more members than Amber.
Scenarios. Even now, she is doing
Wow,
that,
Blair.
trying to paint herself to look like as much of a victim as her own victims. She wants me to tuck my tail and run away from this like I've done before, but I won't be doing that this time. First, I
Good,
want
Beck.
to say that I understand if Amber is.
Okay, this is where I was going to stop. Here, Beck goes into a little bit of explanation about some things about narcissism that you guys are probably well versed at because we've talked about it a lot. But I'm going to briefly recap what they talk about here. Of course, one of the very first things they talk about is DARVO, everybody's favorite term when it comes to narcissism. And if you don't know, DARVO stands for deny, attack, close the damn window because the sirens are too annoying. Hang on. Sorry. I was listening to a little bit of the stream from Saturday, and the sirens were so bad that it was actually annoying. So I've closed it. Hey, Bob, how you doing? I am going to look at the live stream, Amber's live stream. Okay, so DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. Basically, it's what narcs do. And somebody's given it a cute acronym that we can all use. So let's DARVO to DARVO. DARVO to DARVO. I'm not, I'm just making fun of the acronym. It's true. That's exactly what they do. They'll pretend nothing, they didn't do anything, then they'll attack you, and then they become the victim. We all know that, right? Good thing I closed the window. Listen how loud that one is. Pateau, 26 months, Pateau. Pateau can't come to the Amazon with me because they're traveling too much. Jealous. Thank you, Pateau, for hanging around for 26 months. All right, another thing that Beck covers is something that's referred to as reactive abuse. There's a lot, we can couch this in a lot of deep medical, scientific sounding terms, but basically it's when you've had enough and you snap and you give it back as much as you're getting it. It's when your fuck basket is empty and you have no more fucks left to give. And often what you'll do is you start a lot of quid pro quo with them. Like you'll treat them the way they treat you. I did it with my narc. And it was interesting reading this today because I thought, yeah, I see that. It's retaliation towards your abuse. And it usually comes after a period of long term, like when the narc's been hammering at you for a long time. And then finally you're just like, I mean, I've done it. I'm sure you've all done it. Penelope says, when your sympathy bone is gone. Yeah. What are you doing over there? You become passive aggressive. It's your narc is you do things to trigger your narc. I never realized it, but I did this too. Sometimes she just pissed me off so much I wanted to piss her off, so I wouldn't give her what she wanted. So sometimes you get passive aggressive. You might cross their boundaries because they've been crossing yours. um a little bit of gaslighting reversal, like you bait them into things. I did that. um and then eventually withdrawal, kind of like gray rocking. So there's a whole bunch of that's all that comes under the umbrella of reactive abuse. So I think why Beck's including that here is she's basically saying, Amber, anything I did to you was reactive abuse. It's when you've had your ass kicked so long, you finally kick back a little bit, and you're not responding appropriately, and there's a reason why you're not. So that's what another thing that Beck was talking about there. Okay, now from there we're going to jump forward. It seemed like it's timestamps. Professional YouTuber, just like a professional YouTuber. We're going to jump forward into the things I believed Amber lied about. We're going to let Beck talk a little bit about this stuff. I will say, sorry, Rio's buggering around over there. I really was hoping Beck was going to say that whole engagement story was a lie, because it just didn't sound. It didn't sound like Beck, and it was so tacky. I just really wanted it to be a lie, but so far they haven't denied the story itself being a lie. So I guess whatever floats your boat. No judgment, just.
She made another video with my name in the title a couple weeks later. She talked about me on her Instagram stories and in her Q&As.
I missed.
And in the
this is
number one.
Sorry.
Amber claimed she never talked about me after the proposal story on her channel. Except she did. She made another video with my name in the title a couple weeks later. She talked about me on her Instagram stories and in her Q&As and in the comments of other people's live streams and videos.
And I will add that these are screen caps that Beck is showing a proof of Amber actually saying things. Amber said a lot without saying Beck's name. Amber also did a lot of conversations where she was alluding to things and everybody knew who she was talking about, but she didn't say their name.
She even talked about me to people in her private life, according to Alexis, but I care less about that. The online stuff she knew people would see. And how many times now has she said she is done talking about me or the situation and then talks about it again? I've lost count. Number 2, she says she couldn't
Oh, I don't care about this. Heather, got to go to work. Heather's first. Heather's first to leave. Have a good day at work, Heather. I hope it's unstressful. I'm going to skip the bank account stuff because I don't care about the bank account. Like I said earlier, I gave you a little preface for that. Amber says she never claimed. So apparently Amber said that Beck said this is really, these are very trite little things. Amber said that Beck said they'd never met Libby or Jade, and Beck said, yeah,
or as
never,
well as videos
of course I did,
being in the same room as Jade. Libby, I did say that I never.
Beck is quiet. Well, yeah, that's because her volume is way down. Thank you, Snork. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that.
But that's because I'm pretty sure we never did meet in
Better,
person.
right?
There's a video of
better. We got a lag. Space Queen 420. Good name. Better? Yes. Thank you.
Me sitting with Amber and talking while she was on You Now with Libby. I did not meet Libby. I knew of Libby as a friend of Amber's she knew while with Destiny. Number 4. She says that Eric and Ricky told her that I admitted to using her for money and called her a fat fucking bitch. And I know some of you really wanted that last part to be true, but I truly do not remember saying those things to Eric or Ricky.
And I said this, I think, probably in the Rage stream when we were watching. I'll let her finish.
Complain about Amber sometimes, but I never made fun of Amber's weight or body, even after the breakup. And why would I admit to using Amber for money if that's what I was doing?
I believe that. If she really was using Amber for money, if they were really using Amber for money, they never would have been talking about it like that. And I did say in the live stream, that's reactive abuse. I believe with my whole chest that she probably said those words. I said horrible things about my mother when I was mad. I can't tell you how many times I left my narc's apartment, slammed the door, and walked home asking God to take her. Like, I get it. I believe that in the heat of anger, she called her a fat effing bitch. I believe that. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay. It's just the heat of the moment. It doesn't really mean anything. Compared to what Amber did to Beck, I don't even think Beck needs to explain that.
It just doesn't make sense. Eric and Ricky are also notorious gossips, and they love the drama.
Oh, I
They told
bet.
me back when we were still talking that my own sister and Logan were talking crap about me behind my back, and they weren't. Number 5. Amber claimed to have told me many times.
Any group of friends ends up talking about each other. We're human beings. It's what we do. Now, hopefully, as we get older, like honestly, I don't do that as much as I used to, but when I was young, I was a damn gossip for sure. Groups of friends talk about each other. They all lived in the same damn house. I'm sure they had all kinds of stuff to talk about.
Times to go get a job if I was so bored, and that she supported me in working or
Hey, Cronut, thank you. You haven't been here in a while. Nice to see you back. Or you've been quiet, maybe.
starting my own business. She also said that I only ever Ubered twice. That was a lie. I drove for Uber when I could, off and on. Even
Yeah, the work thing too, I don't buy. No, Emmy, we watched this in the Rage stream in the Discord. I don't believe this either. I've said I believe that honestly, any human being, if you're first of all, you're in a new relationship, so you're in love or in lust or infatuation, whatever you're in, it's going on in the beginning of a new relationship, and your partner is making, quite frankly, stupid amounts of money. You are working at a physical job that's killing you that you hate, and your partner says, "Stay home, I'll take care of everything." I think 90% of us would say yes to that. I don't think that Beck had to be coerced into staying home from work in the beginning, but I am also willing to bet that Beck has the kind of work ethic that when they did stay home in the beginning, they were probably doing everything. They were really taking that on. Like, I'm a partner here. I'm going to earn my keep. I believe that about Beck. Now, I also believe that eventually Amber wore them down to the point that they just didn't give a fuck anymore. But Beck has shown us, even with their channel, what kind of work ethic they have. So I don't believe any of this stuff about Beck not wanting to work. And the Uber, I seem to recall Beck Ubering in more than one video. I mean, we'd have to go back and look, and I don't care enough to look at all these tedious little lies.
after the breakup. Buying me some art supplies doesn't equal being supportive of me working and having a job. She admits herself in this live stream that she was controlling of my time and never wanted me to leave her alone.
Mhm.
Which is the Amber? Was I allowed to leave to work, or did I always need to be with you? Number 6. She tells people in her live that I said we weren't friends after the breakup, and that isn't entirely true. On my channel, I've said before that we hung out after the breakup.
This stuff is tedious. This isn't really important. After breakups, sometimes when you've been together for that many years, it's complex extricating your lives from each other, right? There's a lot of things you still share. You run into each other at, well, I was going to say you run into each other at parties, and then I realized who I was talking about. That didn't happen. But you know what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, did Beck throw up a wall and not talk to her from that day forward? No. Were they actual friends? No. No, they weren't.
But that after I moved out, we were only friendly. We rarely saw each other unless I was dealing with my stuff at the apartment,
Exactly.
and sometimes we were with mutuals.
Because it takes a while to extricate your lives after you've lived together for a while. That's exactly what it is. They say, it also took me a long time to come to terms with everything that happened. As much as I needed space, I know a part of me was still allowing her to be in my life in some ways because I couldn't accept the whole truth for a long time. Yeah, it's called There was a term I learned the other day and I went, oh, wait a second, I do that. Like you make excuses for your abuser. Like Stockholm syndrome comes under that umbrella. What's the term? I'm missing the term. Hi, Brick. I can't think of it anyway.
She continued to reach out to me every once in a while, and I continued to keep the peace when I had to because I still had people and stuff connected to her.
Exactly.
Number 7, she lies about giving me her doctor's appointment slot.
Yeah, that's stupid because we all know that doctor's appointments don't work that way. Oh, this one was bad. I got something to say about this too. I had to edit my video to take out some music last night that was making this point.
Up again when I talk about my health history later in this video. Number 8, Amber dances around implying that I pressured her for sex by asking her to be in a relationship. You have no idea how nauseated I felt hearing that. I'm going to be going into more details and telling you the whole story of that night.
Stop right
Number
now.
9, claim.
I gotta know right now before we go any further. Do you love me? I believe it was the other way around. Cognitive dissonance, trauma bonding. That's it. Trauma bonding is the term I was looking for. Oh, Beck made a post and it's so hot that I'm getting it right off the presses here. Let's see what this says. We're being interrupted by this late breaking message from Beck. Oh, you can't read that. Oh, you can't read that at all. I can read it for you, though. It says, this is from 25 minutes ago, so just about when we started. Amber Lynn came on her live stream last night and said some disgusting things about my current partner. I'm going to put this over here. Who is not a public figure and who she has never met and does not know. Nothing she said has anything to do with the things I've called her out in my videos. She thinks she can drive a wedge between myself and my loved ones, even my own family, but it won't work. I won't make a video about this because it was nothing but a woman spiraling and blindly throwing punches in every direction. Amber Lynn, who told you these things, is no friend of mine, clearly, even if they used to be. The only person's opinion of my partner that matters is mine. And she's never controlled, forced, or even asked me to do anything that I have or have not done for my relationship, my life, and my personal healing and growth. I don't have to tell you that it's wrong to publicly make statements about someone who is not a public figure and has nothing to do with what I've come out and said about you. I hope you do take some time off to reflect on your own recent behavior. I hope you take enough steps back to see that you never had to say any of what I have said in my videos. If you want me to stop speaking on you, if you want your audience to form a better opinions of you, there are easy solutions. Taking accountability without simultaneously talking negatively about the person you are apologizing to is not hard. Instead, you once again threatened me in an attempt to get me to stop talking. What you did last night and in your public live stream was vile. And the things I said in my video were only a response to that. The more you try to pick fights and hurt me, instead of actually listening, actually apologizing, actually working to correct things, the deeper you dig yourself into this hole you're spiraling yourself right into. I need to pull the chat back up and see what you guys are saying about this. I'm telling you, Beck is kicking ass. Beck is kicking ass. And, you know, people like Amber saying, oh, it's a script. It's a script. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares if they take the time to write notes so their thoughts are clear and cohesive? instead of just rambling around like a damn bull in a china shop. I don't care if they write a script. Oh, it's a script. Who cares? Doesn't mean anything that's in that script isn't genuine. Talking to the moon, thank you for being 21 months, and says, I'm proud of our Beck. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going along with the canonization of Beck that's happening all over places. Beck's human. They made mistakes, and they made mistakes in this relationship too. They probably did Amber dirt more than once, but they didn't traumatize them. I'm proud of this. I'm really proud of how Beck is dealing with the narcissist. It's beautiful. They're doing it perfectly. They're doing it perfectly. All right, I'm gonna fast forward a bit because after that mic drop moment, I don't think they talk about, like, I don't think they spill any tea. Is this the wipe? Is this the? Let's go fast forward up to things Amber admitted to. Let's maybe put this back on the screen so you can see it. Wouldn't that be cool? What am I doing? Why is it gone? This diagram, Beck was likening like when you drop a lobster into boiling water and they just kind of get used to the heat and then die because it's gradual. It's like the abuse. It's so gradual that it creeps up on you until you kind of get numb from it all. And the things that you accept at the end are things that in the beginning you never would have thought you were going to accept in your life.
The heat so they don't realize they are being cooked alive. Things Amber admitted to. Number 1, she admitted to being mean and rude and talking down to me in videos and behind the camera, but she didn't admit that this was a form of public humiliation that I believe she used to control me and keep my self-esteem low. Number 2, Amber said that she was horrible.
Okay, I don't think Amber had to analyze it. She could have apologized for it sincerely and made some amends. See, she drops the ball on the amends part. Like, my biggest pet peeve right now is that she thinks she knows the meaning of the word accountability, and clearly she doesn't. I'm listening to her talk, and I swear to God, she thinks accountability is just admitting that you did something, is being accountable for it. That's not accountability. She's totally dropping the ball on the making amends part of that's part of accountability. Doesn't do that.
To Destiny.
Ever.
No shocker there, but I do wonder why she kept saying she wasn't going to talk about Destiny in this live stream. I can only guess. Number 3, admits to buying love and attention from partners and friends, yet doesn't admit to financial.
Yeah, it's interesting. Amber's taken quite a staunch stand that they're not going to talk about Destiny. They're not going to talk about Jade. They're not going to talk about Casey. They're not going to talk about Emily. So the only one they'll talk about is Beck.
Abuse at all. Amber, there is a difference between being generous and holding things over people's heads as leverage because you paid for something. Number 4, Amber says that she went through my phone a lot because of trust issues, but then shows journal entries to, in her eyes, prove that I did read her journals. First, I never said that she didn't let me read any of her.
I've said this before. I'm sure you've heard me say this before. I don't believe Beck was reading Amber's journals. I think that Amber would write a paragraph and get wet thinking about how incredibly creative and good it was and walk out to the living room. Becky, look what I wrote, and read it to her. I'm guessing that Beck was forced to sit through listening to Amber read out sections of the journal, and Beck doesn't remember because it was so stupid that she didn't care. They didn't care.
Her physical journals. I said that she wouldn't let me go through her phone because she said there were private journals on it. Yet she says that I could read her journals anytime and she wouldn't have cared if I looked at
Sorry,
her phone,
Megan.
but that I never really had asked her anyway. Number 5, She admits that she does not feel that I was abusive towards her. But then why do all of this, Amber? Number 6, she admits to being manipulated.
She's not trying to prove that you were abusive, Beck. She's trying to prove you're wrecking her image. It's damage control. That's what she's doing. This isn't about you. Bless you. You think this is about you. It's not. This is all about Amber. Beck, come on. You know that.
Manipulative toward me and others to get what she wants out of them. Number 7. And finally, she admits that she shouldn't have asked me to drive during the times that I was physically and mentally ill. More on that later. At first glance, it may sound like she admitted to quite a few things, and she did.
She did.
But she did not take real accountability for
She
them.
didn't. Exactly. Beck, exactly. Beck. Beck. Beck, Beck, Beck. That's so it. Beck, have you been watching? Or just learning on your own? Because, man, Beck is getting it, and it just makes me so damn happy.
She spent the worst part of 3 hours talking about things.
Yeah, for anybody who's come in late, we're just going to finish up the Beck video here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We're going to skip some, and then we're going to get right to a recap of Amber's live stream, because I want to be done by 6. I know Beck is going live, and I know a lot of people probably want to run over and watch that. So, I want to be done that. And I have, honest to God, 5 pages of notes for this recap. So let's just fly to the end here. And Beck wrapped it up really nicely. Let's let them say their bit. And then we'll go on to recap the Amber stream, because I know most of you want to see that.
She wants to claim this diagnosis and that diagnosis.
It's not Beck, it's the KC podcast. Oh, but Beck's going live tonight, though, right? On the KC podcast.
But the diagnosis doesn't matter. Her self-awareness is
lukewarm tea. Is that it? Lukewarm tea? Oh, it's Beck's not on it tonight. Oh, okay. Never mind. Whatever.
non-existent. Everyone has noticed that she takes zero accountability or responsibility when in private. She will beg and barter and manipulate until everyone.
Okay. I thought that they were on it tonight. They're not on it tonight. They have other guests tonight. Okay, whatever.
One sees it the way that she sees it. She can't do all of that publicly, and no abuser wants their abuse to be aired out. Amber, I just wanted you to finally take some accountability for the shit you've done.
This is nice.
If I really wanted to humiliate and embarrass you, I would have just done this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to hold you accountable is publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing awareness to the abuse and having your audience see between the cracks. Your public live stream wasn't about an apology or healing. It wasn't about breaking your silence. It was about silencing others, especially me. You did not take this seriously. It is inappropriate to laugh when you are talking about other people's trauma, especially when you're the one who caused it. I can laugh about my trauma with friends, but making fun of what your victims have experienced is insensitive and weird.
I'm not laughing at Beck. I'm laughing at my mods.
You are trying to convince everyone that I did just as much to you as you've done to me. And since you don't feel abused by me, then I should not feel abused by you. But the difference is I do feel abused by you, Amber, because you abused me and you've abused other girlfriends in the past too. Name the worst thing I did to you. Tell me what it is so I could take accountability for it if it was so bad.
Let's hear it, Amber.
All you've said about me is that I'm a liar and use you for money.
Beck can wrap it up there. We get the point. Beck is script or no script, eloquent. They're speaking with candor. They come across as genuine. Beck is just killing it out there. Killing it out there. You know who's not killing it? That means I can take my headphones off. I am charging the other ones right now. Oh, backwards. See, look, pages on the live stream. One. All right. So Beck uploaded that video in the morning. Well, I'm guessing actually that Amber might have seen it. Amber might have seen it. I'm going to take this off because he's not there. Hang on. So Amber went live, as is her custom on Tuesdays. We're just going to add a few still shots to the screen. In case you forgot who we're talking about, it's this girl. This girl here. Amber's live. Da 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 da. Mr. Snork says, I wonder if Amber watched it. She really didn't show it last night. We're not sure if she watched it or not. Well, Snork, she did. Penelope, thank you again for another super chat. Penelope says, Amber yapped, but never got to say what Beck did. Yeah, we're going to get to that. All right, Amber came in hot. Said, hello, Scream Queens, to a few of her stream queens. And then immediately, Beck was lying. Got right to the Beck was lying. And she was on fire. She's, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a fuck anymore. She was all up in it last night. I might miss some stuff. Bear with me, because I have a lot of notes here. But I tried to get the most of it. Oh, and then we have to go over this place. Hang on, I got to get something ready here. I'm actually going to reference our friends on Kiwi Farms. Listen, I got no problem with Kiwi Farms. One of the farmers does an amazing job of recapping the live. I'm not using that. I did my own recap while I watched. But there is a point where they have some, like the transcript of the part where she's talking about the narcissism. So I'm going to give full credit here to, as soon as I find it. Did I write it down? Oh my goodness, I have a lot of notes. I don't know, I wrote it down. I'm getting to there. I'm getting to it. I want to give full credit to Haterade. Haterade on Kiwi Farms does amazingly thorough recaps. But I do want to steal or borrow with full credit their recap of the narcissism part. They just recapped it beautifully and wrote the transcript. So yeah, Haterade is also a great name. So we'll get to Haterade later, but let's start again. Beck, she came in hot. Beck was lying. She called Beck lazy, said they don't want to work. Said also, and got real snotty with the, they can't, have you noticed? They can't even keep a job. I thought, are you kidding me? You can't get a job. What the hell are you talking about? And again, we've talked about what appears to be Beck's work ethic. They seem to be a pretty hardworking human being. They, they might have a hard time getting started at stuff, but who doesn't in this economy? Also, they spent all that time. They have a big gap in their damn resume now from sitting there taking care of her for all those years. So give them a break. Then she went on and on about how she's been silenced. She's being silenced. She's being silenced. I guess she thinks, I don't know, she's an idiot being silenced. You got a damn YouTube channel, done nothing but talk about your exes for 10 years. Silenced. Idiot. Oh, not only silenced, but this is torturous for her. It's torturous. And imagine, she says, and imagine with BPD. I'm being tortured and I have BPD and they're still torturing me like this. She was quite upset about the rag story. I don't know if we've covered it, but I'm assuming we all know about the rag story. Beck went into some detail. I don't know if it was in that video. I forget. There's just been so much happening lately. Beck went into some detail about how the mechanics of the bathroom hygiene procedures. Apparently, Amber uses face cloths and then just throws them out. And then after a while, she got Beck to wash them for her. So Beck was rinsing off the poopy face cloths before they went into the washer. So Beck went into quite a bit of detail about that. Amber, of course, didn't like it. Yeah, apparently Amber was backing it up into the sink with a washcloth on the sink. I don't know how this works. To be honest, I'm a short girl. I couldn't back up the crack to the sink like that. I don't know how she's doing that. I'd really rather not think too much about it, to be honest. Then she makes all these great claims that she's taken accountability and Beck hasn't again. I don't think. Hang on, I need more coffee. Hang on. I put my coffee down here because I don't want it in the way. I don't think she knows the meaning of the word accountable. I'm not being smart ass. I really do not think she understands the meaning of the word accountable. I don't think she does. Yeah, Beck only wanted revenge. She said that's why Beck mentioned the rags. She only wanted revenge. And that's why Beck said in this video, if I wanted revenge, I would have talked about that a hell of a long time ago, not now. I'm just pushed to the damn wall now. That's basically what Beck was saying. She goes on to say, and I got to tell you guys, she was hyped up, okay? She was hyper as fuck. She was swearing a lot. She was all over the place. She was in it to win it last night. She said Beck is no innocent flower child. I wrote that down because I like that phrase. Flower child. I think she might have been high too. Or what if she's not got borderline? What if she does have what's the other one? Oh my god. Bipolar? She seemed manic almost. Oh yeah, so she said Beck is no innocent flower child. She went on to imply that there's a lot of dirty shit she could say about Beck, but she's not. She's not. There's a lot she could say, but she's not. And then she tells us to marinate on that. She's big on marinating last night. We were marinating. I was like, bitch, I don't want to marinate with you. Go marinate yourself in the shower, girl. She just kept slamming Beck, like constant Beck slam. Oh, that's a really good coffee. I know you don't care. I do. She talks about car money to pot. Oh, okay. She was doing the classic narc thing where they try and discredit their victim. That whole stream basically was discrediting her victim. She was just desperately trying to come up with shit to say about Beck over and over and over again. And so then she had to talk about the money that was raised. Now, it's not widely known, I don't think. Most people in this community know that before Beck ever did the GoFundMe for the car, this community raised, I don't know, $1,000? We raised some money quietly for Beck behind the scenes. We didn't talk about it because we didn't want to get accused of being dick riders or clout chasers or whatever the hell was going to come with it. We just honestly wanted to give Beck a leg up. So we quietly raised $1,000 and gave it to her. She didn't want to take it. Man, we had to fight with them to take it. I'm sorry. We finally got them to take it. And we told them, you know what? I said, I don't give a fuck what you spend that money on. We just wanted to help you out and donate money to you. How you choose to spend that money is your call, right? Now, after that, Beck did the community doesn't know about that. And if they do, they just, I don't know, paint it like it's ugly or something. It wasn't ugly. We just wanted to help Beck out. Then after that, shortly after that, then Beck did the GoFundMe because they were having the car problem. And I guess they probably couched the GoFundMe as to fix the car. And then I guess they didn't fix the car. Now, after that happened, I do recall Beck coming out and talking about what happened. Like it wasn't enough to fix the car, or so I don't know what this money should. But they ended up not fixing the car with that money. So that's what Amber's implying, that Beck took all that money and bought pot. And quite frankly, if Beck took all that money from the GoFundMe and bought pot, I hope she had a really good time. because she spent 4 years with you, Amber. There's not enough pot in the world. Who fucking cares? Bottom line, it's their money. You can't donate with strings attached. That's so weird to me. You know, it's like people, I don't want to give that homeless person money because they're going to go buy alcohol. Well, then fuck off. Why are you even talking about it? Then don't give them money. Shut up about it. Anyway, that's another tangent altogether. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. What's this now? Oh, she threatened at that point to release personal info about Beck. And then she got very self-pity. Lynn came in. She tells us she's going to be alone forever. She's never going to date again. She's never going to have a friend because every single person she's ever met betrays her. And I've never heard a more narcissistic self-pity line in my fucking life. I'm telling you, my narc used to do it too. When I would have proof positive of something that they had lied about and they could not back out of it. When they absolutely couldn't gaslight their way out of it, my narc would say, well, fine, then I might as well just kill myself. It's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing. Fucking narcissists. They're so annoying. And they're so consistently the same. I know as I'm telling this, half you people in the chat know exactly what I'm talking about because you've experienced it all. Antonio says, my narc says I don't have any friends. I wonder why. My narc died without any friends. Actually, my narc had friends, but they kept them away. I don't know why. Pride? I don't know what the hell it was. I don't want to die alone like that. That's what Amber's going to be like. What's she going to do? Her parents are going to pass away before her, probably. She's going to have nobody to take care of her if she lives long enough. Oh, good Lord. Too many thoughts. Okay, now we're getting to a very tricky part here where she tries to excuse dead naming Beck. Now, I'm going to say something that you guys are going to hate. God, I hate it when I know you're going to hate what I say. And then I say it anyway. And then Snork gets mad. No, what I'm going to say is, I think in the last very recent time, month or two, I feel like Amber is actually genuinely trying to get Beck's pronouns right. I feel like that when Amber slips now, it's like when I slip, it's a slip of a tongue and they tend to correct themselves very quickly. Has it always been like that? No, I think Amber was absolutely dead naming them on purpose before. But I think they're really, really trying with the pronouns now. I do. You can disagree with. I think it's very recent, 4-6 weeks maybe, very recent. And you can disagree, but that's what I see. Now, the dead naming thing, she was calling Beck Becky. Now, again, she was in a relationship with Becky for 4 years, so it might be hard to change that in her mouth. I'll give her that. What we're not going to give her is that she's a fucking idiot and she has to go on and on and on. She's stupid. I don't care if she's doing it to avoid backlash, then she'll learn to do it. It doesn't matter what her intent is, as long as she's calling Becky they. As long as she's calling Beck they, it doesn't matter what her intent is, as long as she gets it right, like maybe I will eventually. But what I'm going to say now is that she's a fucking idiot because she thinks, again, I think you're right. She probably is only doing it to avoid backlash because then she relates it to herself. You guys are not going to believe this if you didn't see this already. People came at her for saying Becky instead of Beck, right? And then she just gave you the excuse that I gave. She's really trying. When she lived with them, they were that other name, and it's very hard to change. That sounds very reasonable, rational for anybody else. I know we hate Amber, so we think it's not, but for anybody that's right. But then here's where she fucks it all up because she's so stupid and selfish. She says, but what's not fair is, even though my name is Amber, I don't want to be called Amber. I want to be called Amber Lynn. And Beck won't call me Amber Lynn. Beck still calls me Amber. It's the same thing. I'm pausing because there's a 6-second lag, and I'm trying to see your reaction because that's the fucking stupidest, most ridiculous thing. For the love of God, you stupid runt. I'm 61 and I understand the difference between those two things. What's wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? She literally said that. She didn't say that, though. She said that. Oh, she never said the excuse? It's not the same thing. She's literally saying that Beck's gender identity is the equivalent to her wanting to be called a different nickname. And she doesn't see the difference. Thank you, Skyfalls. That's why Skyfalls is my favorite. She doesn't see the fucking difference. She thinks it's the same thing. I don't even know what to say about that because it's so inanely stupid that what can you even say about it? Good Lord, we got a lot to go here. Okay. Today's video. The video we saw today at 1 o'clock, she says that's her last pre-recorded video. And then she's going on a break for her mentals. Her mom does call her Amber. I believe that was what's written on her cake. And I don't know if you've noticed what my live stream is called today, but I've decided to just kind of call her Amber. It's her name, right? In solidarity for Beck. It's her name, right? So yeah, she needs to take a break for her mentals. It's too much. It's too stressful. All this taking accountability is exhausting. She didn't say that, but she said she's going to take a break. I don't know how long a break. I don't know if it's a break for the people. She didn't make it very clear if the break was only for her vlogs or if the break was also for her live streams where the people have paid $10 a week ago for this month's membership. So I don't know if she's still going to do lives. Probably not. I don't think she's going to stay away for long because I think she's going to have a hard time. But we'll see. She went on quite a long tirade about being sexually harassed by Mr. Snowflake. I don't watch him, so I don't know what that's about. I do read some stuff that apparently that seems to be a theme in a lot of his videos, but you make that of what you want. She stands by the Casey story firmly with both feet in the ground. Again, I'm standing by this Casey story. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, Amber, with this? Of all the things to stand by, is she going to stand by the Casey story? And she makes a... Excuse me. Hang on. Let me put the mute on for a second. And she makes a big ass deal about it too. And she makes oh no, someone said talk about Casey. No, I'm never gonna no. Like she makes a big stupid ridiculous thing about that. It's like she's never gonna talk to Casey. She says she'll never talk about Casey, never talk to Casey, never. Blah, blah, blah. She's very afraid of Casey for some reason. She then goes on for quite a long time about childhood trauma. She goes into quite a lot of detail about all the trauma she's had in her childhood. Trauma, poor me, poor me. The chat, the chat, by the way, wasn't truly very supportive of her last night. I think there was a lot of trolls in the chat. We checked at the beginning of the stream, and there seemed to be about 37 people there. And they weren't super supportive. So they started they told her that this was like the trauma Olympics that she's doing, and she pretended she didn't understand. I don't understand what you mean. They pay for that, by the way. $10 a month. She just acted confused again. She didn't know what that meant. And then she talked about how she really needs to take a break. She really needs to take a break. Oh, this is good. She goes into therapy chat. You guys are going to love this. I don't understand it, but I know you do, and I know you're going to love it. So she goes in. Now it's time to talk about therapy. Therapy. So apparently she's been taking EMDR. Now, I don't know if she started it or that was what was recommended for her. Now, you guys have told me that that's some kind of eye movement therapy, and it's quite can be quite intense. And she goes on to tell us that I guess the therapist told her that, it does bring up a lot of stuff. So after the session, you might have to sit with a lot of feelings and stuff, that aren't great. And she said, so wait a second. If I do this 3 times a week, where the hell she's doing 3 times a week, when she's ever done therapy 3 times a week, I don't know. But if I do this 3 times a week and then the rest of my day is wrecked after therapy, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to be miserable all the time. So she decided that she wants DBT. So apparently she's starting DBT now. Because her therapist said, no, sweetie, no. You'd be better suited for DBT. And DBT is actually for really good for BPD. And she was like, yay, that's me. I have BPD. I need to do DBT. That EMDR, no, I don't want to sit with feelings and try and get better. So I don't know anything about either of these therapies, but it sounds to me like she wants to take the easier route. Not that one is easier, but in her mind that seems easier because she won't have to wreck her day after therapy by thinking about her life and how to get better. I'm going to read the chat a bit here because you guys know, I know Kaza, way too many letters. I can't believe I just said all that without tripping on it. Thank God there wasn't a gender neutral person in that conversation. It would have been really challenging. DBT is very hard if you actually do it, Coco says. Smiley Bone says cognitive behavior therapy is what she means. Washable Marker says, what's DBT? I don't know. That's why I need to rely on my chat. Listen, I've got mildly high cholesterol. That's all I know. LMAO says she thought DBT was EBT and got snacky. It's Coco says it's dialectical behavioral therapy. What that means, I don't know. Bent Tail says they're both really hard. Well, I would imagine any kind of intense therapy to deal with those issues is going to be challenging. She just wants the easy pill. She just wants to take a pill and be better. That's why she wanted the weight loss surgery, because she thought she was going to be able to just give them money and they were going to go just cut her open and suck all her fat out. And it didn't work out that way, so she didn't like it. That's why she'll never do therapy. Lainey says DBT stands for dialectic behavior therapy, a type of therapy that helps individuals develop skills in areas like emotional regulation, distress tolerance, mindfulness, and interpersonal effectiveness. Well, it certainly sounds like she could use that. Now, let me ask you guys, do they ever do them in tandem? Like, would you ever be doing DBT and EDMR at the same time? I don't know anything about this stuff. I need you to teach me. Teach me, children. Tip Tap says EMDR is rough, and I just don't think she's mature enough. DBT first would benefit her. Well, oh yeah, that would be a way to do it, right? Andy says, I used to do an EMDR exercise as part of my therapy, and yes, it was hard on the moment and sometimes for the rest of the day, but it did help in the long term. You could do them together. EMDR sounds like banging house music, Rachel says. Jess does equine EMDR. Oh, that's neat. Snork says EMDR isn't a typical first response therapy. Oh, so it would kind of make more sense for her to do the DBT and then do the EMDR, but she's never going to finish any of them. So this is a moot conversation, really. DBT wouldn't work. Well, I was wondering how, given that if we're going to assume she's a narcissist, how that would work. Any of these therapies is going to work for her, because is she going to be honest? Because I would imagine the key component to any of these therapies is your genuine honesty, right? And that makes sense to me, that you'd have to be honest to fix what you're broken. Oh, we're not done, guys. After that, she mentions the ACE test, which I learned is a test for childhood trauma. Apparently, you can take it online, which I did. She got 9 out of 10, and she's so fucking happy about it. Which means she's almost the most trauma-filled person on the planet. Just one number off being the most trauma-filled human that's ever walked on the planet Earth. 9 out of 10. I got 1. Probably a half, really, but I was a lucky kid. I know a lot of people would score a lot higher. If you're interested, just Google ACE test, ACE. It comes up pretty easily. Okay, now we're going to get into this NPD part where, again, we're going to thank Haterade on Kiwi Farms. I like the farms. You know, they're not politically correct. They're going to say things that are probably going to offend you, but for the most part, I like Kiwi Farms better than other places online. I'm just going to say that. Now, Haterade has done a fantastic transcript, and I'm going to borrow their transcript portion of the recap, because I didn't do a transcript. Because this is where she discusses narcissism. Winter Blossom, thank you for joining. Winter Blossom is a new member, everybody. Yeah, Haterade is a chat. Haterade, if you're watching the chat, thinks your name is fan-fucking-tastic. Okay. The chat asks her about narcissism. Okay. Let's see. Can I make this tinier and bring it over here so I'm not looking sideways? It's better if I'm looking at the camera, yeah? Okay, the chat asks her about NPD. Amber says, I've considered narcissism. Trust me, I've talked to 2 therapists about it. She says she starts questioning herself, and she takes quizzes online. And her 2 therapists and the quizzes all tell her no. She's not. She's good. And then the chat says to her, hey, Racy, thank you for 2.5 years. Racy's coming to Costa Rica with me. Can't wait to go. By the way, guys, we're going to Bocas del Toro in Panama. I'm so excited. Anyway, that's something else. The chat tells her this stupid line that I hate. A true narcissist would never wonder if they're a narcissist. Oh, have you ever wondered if you're a narcissist? Well, then that means you're not. It doesn't work that way. Amber says, I question whether I'm a narcissist like twice a day. Guess that's why she hates me so much. And the chat says to her, please don't take any tests that you find online. And then she goes into this. I'm going to paraphrase here. Thank you, Haterade. I'll come back to your... she goes on this big tirade about how she Googled a symptom, and that's how she found out that she had uterine cancer. I guess like the free bleeding for 2 years didn't give it away at all. 34 months for Val. Val's coming to Costa Rica with me. And Racy. Alyssa's probably sleeping. So she's basically praising Google for helping her solve her problem with cancer. If it wasn't for Google, she might have died of that womb cancer. Okay, here's where it gets good. Amber starts giggling and says, "You know what I could do? Let me Google narcissistic symptoms." So off we go to Chat GPT, and she Googles NPD. And she reads this: being self-obsessed or self-absorbed. And she says, "Yeah, I do that. I'm on live talking about myself." Yeah. Google says a female narcissist may spend a lot of time talking about herself without thinking about asking how other people are doing. Ask me how I'm doing. Amber says that's not true. I'm constantly asking people how they're doing. Yeah, you're forgetting the other part of the equation is where you have to listen to them answer and not just say it like she does on her live stream. "Hey, how are you doing?" And then she doesn't care. Google says never admitting fault. And she says, "Oh, wait. Oh my God, yeah, she never admitting fault." And she starts smiling and giggling and she says, "Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Oh, I didn't think of myself. I was thinking of somebody else." We all know she meant Becky. She says, "There are sometimes I get defensive, but I do apologize a lot. So let's just give me a 0.5. Some people tell me, 'Why are you apologizing? You apologize for things you don't even need to apologize for.'" Okay. Google says pettiness, focusing on small criticism, may seek revenge. Amber seeking revenge? Well, that would be unusual. Amber says, "That's kind of a BPD symptom. I can get stuck on small details. I'm not a petty person, I'd say. I'm definitely not petty. You guys don't know me in my real life, so you can't say." Yeah, we've seen you being pretty petty, Amber. Google says being shallow. Amber says, "Not that." Google says obsessed with status or luxury items. Don't got it. My earrings are like $3. People are like, "Amberlynn, why don't you get expensive purses and jewelry?" She says, "Because I don't care." Yeah, you do. You read the labels off on everything. You always read labels. You buy shit by its label. Like all the perfume. Google says addicted to social media. All narcissists are self-absorbed. Amber says, "Well, I don't care. I don't care how many likes I get. I've never cared about that." I mean, social media can be addictive in a way, but that's my job. So, okay, that's weird. So she's not counting that. Can you imagine? Google says exploitive of others. Now, by the way, the whole time she was reading these on her phone, and she'd read like exploitive of others, and then she'd go, it was really weird. Amber says, "Oh God, that sounds like Beck. You know how many things I could have said about Alexis, about Beck? Oh, well, okay, well, I'll just say ... I have reacted out of anger, but I've never exploited. Just give me 0.5. Fuck it. Oh, yeah, and Feline, I've never said anything about Feline." She's making this really weird voice that made me want to put my fist through my monitor. Like these long, drawn-out words. Oh, it's so annoying. Google says being overly vain, preoccupied with physical appearance. She says, "Well, we know that's not me because I'm fat as hell. I just like to do my makeup and do my hair. Other fat women are gorgeous, literally gorgeous." She did the voice again. "When I'm putting on makeup or doing my hair, it's just literally putting glitter on poop." Amber, you care about your looks. You can't deny it. You stick glass gemstones on your eyes to film. Like, come on, girl. Google says women with NPD are more likely to capitalize on being sexual or provocative. Amber says, I do like to flirt, but that doesn't make me a narcissist. Amber, have you seen your TikTok account? Google says, seemingly shy or reserved. Women with NPD are more likely to be covert narcissists. This is really broad, these things from that Google's saying. She must have read the first result. Oh, this is Chat GPT, probably, yeah? It's very broad. Seemingly shy or reserved. Women with NPD are more likely to be covert narcissists. And Amber goes, well, everyone's a narcissist at this point. No, Amber, we're not. Google says a covert narc might not seem arrogant or entitled. They may come across as shy or quiet. Amber says, I don't even really know how to answer this. Sometimes I'm shy. Sometimes I'm not. Is this even real? What website is this? Can somebody tell me? Okay, you Googled it. You don't know what website you're on? Google says sensitive and reactive. Amber says, oh, very BPD coded. Yeah, Amber, it's giving BPD. Google says women with narcissism aren't able to regulate their emotions. Very BPD coded. Google talks about sensitivity. Amber talks about bippity bippity boo. Goes into more about her meltdowns, her fear of abandonment and rejection. And then the next thing Google says is playing the victim card by playing submissive or seemingly helpless to lure people in. Oh, you mean like exactly the way your relationship with Beck started? Interesting. And she says, what? Huh? I feel like I do the whole buy people love thing. I don't try to seem... Oh, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about this. Yeah, I'm sure she'd do real well in EMDR with that kind of attitude. Google says passive aggressive and manipulative. She says, I'm not passive aggressive, but I have been manipulative in the past. Google says someone with NPD might give you the silent treatment. And Amber says, oh, no, no, no. People with BPD, the silent people, so triggering. Yeah, Amber, they're not talking about people giving you the silent treatment. They're talking about you doing it to other people. Google says bullying or being a mean girl. And Amber says, no, definitely not. This is weird because whenever I looked up symptoms in the past, it was really black and white, but this is really diving into it. Oh, Amber, almost like a fucking BuzzFeed quiz on narcissism isn't the way to find your diagnosis, you stupid idiot. And she doesn't think she's a bully or a mean girl. Remember the Halloween stream, Amber? Google mentions two other symptoms that this Haterade didn't catch. And Amber said, oh, that's BPD for both of those symptoms. And then Amber says, this was very interesting. I learned today. Remember when my IG name was Narcissistic Goddess? And then she doesn't finish what she's saying. And she just goes back to reading the chat. And then she goes, okay, I'm a narcissist. I was diagnosed by my chat. Yay. And here I'd like to thank Haterade for that portion of the program. Haterade, thank you for your amazing recaps. They're very good. Then she starts to get all angsty again. She's all upset. There, angsty. She starts on and on again about why, if they talk about me, why can't I talk about them? I'm being silenced. It's not fair. On and on about that. She talks more about how she's going to take a big break because she really needs it for her mental health. And then she says she's going to come back. She says she's going to return as a whole new person when she comes back. She's going to do a lot of introspection. She's going to learn a lot about herself. She's going to take some real time to do a deep dive and, really spend some time and, really get to know Amber. Idiot. She says, she starts to say she What? Oh, she starts talking about how she's regretting. She's already regretting that live stream. Like at the end of the stream, she starts to go, what did I say? Oh no, what did I say? So she was really starting to regret the stream. And then she said it's not her, it's terrible because her BPD stops her from regulating her emotions. And now she doesn't even know what she said on the live stream. Oh my God. So they kept asking her, are you going to keep it up? And she said, yeah, I'm going to keep it up for sure. She finishes off the stream with lots of, oh, this is my BPD, my bippity boppity boo. It's so real. I got the boppity and the boo, and it's so real, and I can't regulate my emotions. I can't regulate my. See, I can't regulate my emotions. And scene. Now, I don't know if she's coming back next week or not. People paid her $10 for the month. So sorry I was ignoring the chat during all of that, but there was a lot of notes I had to read. So now I'm going to catch up a little bit with you, see what you're talking about. It was crazy, man. She was off the fucking chain last night. She was unhinged. It really felt manic to me when I was watching it. I hate using those words because they're so buzzy, but I mean, she seemed manic to me. So she's taking a break, apparently. Now, will she? I don't know. Won't? I don't know. Will she? You think she will? Think she will for very long? Yeah, she was crashing the fuck out. Fluffy says manic can happen in BPD. She sure seemed manic last night, I tell you. Penelope says she acted like my ex-narc when she would throw a tantrum. Yeah, she acts a lot like my narc. Former narc? Dead narc? I don't know what to call her. My mom. And hi. Yeah, I wonder. Jack Wonderland Frost said her views are tanking. I haven't noticed. I haven't been paying much attention, to be honest. I've had some other things going on. I like to, Amberverse is fascinating, and certainly when things are popping off like this, oh God, it's fun. But I can't spend as much time. I don't know how some of these people upload multiple Amber videos in a day. Like, really, your brain is going to rot. You got to do something other than Amber sometimes. Wow, she's only at, her views are not tanking. She's still holding 40, 45,000. I mean, it's tanking comparatively to 2 years ago, but from the last 6 months, no. She's been between 40 and 60,000 for the last year. She's still in there. She's on the lower end of her average, but she's okay. Although yesterday's has only 9,500 views in 4 hours, and that's pretty low. She literally only went up 10 views by the time you shout me out. This one is really slow. I admit that, Jack. This one seems to be lower than usual, but she usually picks it up in the end. There's a lot going on. My video from yesterday is not performing well, and it should be. It's part 2. It's a Narc Alert. They usually do pretty well, but it was bad timing to release it an hour before. Like, everybody was still catching up on Beck, and then there was Amber live stream, so it gets lost in the sauce sometimes. I haven't checked it though. I'm sure it might. Hopefully, it's picked up by now. It's doing okay, but Coffee junkie. We have a coffee and a coffee junkie? Uh-oh. That could be trouble. Or it could be good. Coffee junkie, we've got coffee. It's a coffee fight. Listen, this coffee is fantastic. I'm enjoying my coffee. Well, so what's going to happen now? YouTube isn't notifying you anymore, Jen? YouTube doesn't notify people a lot for my videos. I don't know why. YouTube hates me. YouTube hates me. I'm largely ignored by the entire community, which is fine. Actually, not a bad. It used to hurt my feelings. Now it's kind of, yeah, it's okay to be ignored. So what's going to happen now? Is Amber taking a break? I take my coffee regular, 1 cream, 1 sugar. Café con leche y uno azúcar. So there's that live tonight. Listen, the only thing I'm really waiting for. Starman says you were mentioned in Beck's video. Thank you, Star. And yes, I saw that. Not only did they mention me, but they linked the channel in the description of their video. So I'm very thankful for that. Full transparency, a lot of the people around Beck are not Merc fans. So I was really happy because I've only had, honestly, I only have Destiny, Beck's best interest is heart, because I feel like a kindred spirit in a way, because my Narc was so similar to her Narc, and that's exactly why I started the channel in the first place. So I'm so enjoying watching them climb out of this narcissistic pit of slime. Bananas said, did I get gifted a membership? Hell yeah, because, oh my God, and I forget. Brooke? I'm such an asshole. Blair was close. Blair gifted 50 members. There's probably a whole bunch of you new members, and a whole, thank you guys. Thank you, Blair. And I'm just going to say Blair because it's easier. I hope that's okay. Amazing. Amazing. I don't have much else to say. I feel a little like I'm overdosing on Amber content lately, and that's not fun. I wouldn't mind her taking a break, to be honest. I don't think I'll fill in the time with compilations of retros and stuff like that. I can't. I think we've all seen it a million times, right? I think what I'll do is, if Amber does truly take a break, I'll still do live streams on Wednesday and Saturday, but I might take a small break myself and use that time to build up content for the travel channel, because I really want to get at that and build that more. So I might do that, but we'll have to see, because of course Amber is our dear leader, and we have to wait and see where the chips fall with our dear leader. Ta-da! I think that's all I'm going to say. I think I'm bored of talking now about Amber Lynn Reed. Blair did gift 60 in total. Blair gifted 10 and then 50. Amazing. Amazing. We didn't have anything scheduled for the Discord tonight. We can discuss what we'd like to watch. We'll figure it out because we're a creative bunch. Rat Bat says, yeah, bored of her. Yeah, it's been a lot. The last 24 hours has been a lot of Amber. And that live stream last night, if you came over to Laney's with us and watched it, it was 3 hours long. 3 hours long. I'm telling you, she doesn't. And no break. No break. And I'm just going to head this off at the path. Oh, Heather's gone to work. I was going to say, Heather, we're not watching Skeleton Key, but Heather's at work. She'll see this later and laugh and laugh. Rat fell asleep on Laney's couch. Listen, I know I was tiptoeing over the sleeping bodies last night, pulling up like at least 4 blankets before I turned the light out. But Laney was awake. Laney was also tiptoeing over the bodies last night, but she did mention to me that she was very glad you were all gone in the morning, and thank you for leaving the place nice and clean, because she appreciates that. It's a lot of people to have over on a Tuesday night. Jess drooled on me. Would I consider doing Narc Alert content on fictional characters? Once. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, I would. It's not going to get any views though, unfortunately. You know, I did one a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago now on Big Ed. I was starting a series on reality television narcissists. It got no views, and the Big Ed one still hasn't cracked 1,000 views. So it's really hard when YouTube pigeonholes you as an Amberlynn Reed channel. It's really hard. I've destroyed this channel for other content, I think. I think the content is good. It's just not getting fed out to the right eyes, so it never picks up traction. Yeah, I'm serious. I looked at it the other day. I think it was sitting at like 960 views or something. Hasn't even broke 1,000 views. I know people hate him, but I thought that's why a Narc Alert on him might be interesting. Thank you, Star. Well, now my focus is going to be, it's kind of weird because I do want to focus on the travel channel, but I do want to focus on that knowing that it's highly unlikely it's going to do very well. I mean, some travel channels do really well, but it's hard. There's a lot of them out there. You got to have kind of a special niche. So, we'll just see what we can do. If we have to milk the Amber train until it's gone, then that's what we'll do. That's what everybody else is doing. Why not, right? I've always said I'll do her until she stops paying. I'm fully transparent about that. I do Amber because it pays me to do Amber. If Amber didn't pay me, I wouldn't give a shit. She's just another narc. Really. Do DSP. Like that's going to get any views, Starman. Come on. DSP. Yeah, but see, that's because you two are both young people. I bet you 90% of the chat doesn't even know who DSP is. I have to educate my 30-year-old mods on internet shit. People don't know these deep cuts. Smiling Bone says, please don't say milking Amber. Oh, a little hoo cow reference. Not My Tail says, if this war ever ends, I'd love you to come see my village. What war? What village? I do love a village. I'm big on villages. Sounds so stupid. Listen, I love a nice fishing village. Ethan says, who cow mentioned everybody chug your drink? Everybody get the milk. Snork says it's nothing about age. This isn't the audience for people like that. Yeah, there's some people that are just too criminally disgusting. That's been our problem. I've been saying with the Amberverse for ages is I don't want to get dark and criminal. I don't want to destroy her. I just want to laugh at her being a stupid narc. I just want to have fun and be stupid. It's not that serious. Yeah, I saw that. Ella, I saw that comment of Vanessa Atalanta, and I just scrolled by it. All right, anyway, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to grab some food because it's 6 o'clock. And then we got to figure out what we're going to watch tonight in the Discord. Why don't we have anything scheduled for Wednesdays? I really like it when we have something scheduled because then I don't have to think. I guess we'll look. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look to see if we can find a copy of Monkey. So far, it's just bad cams, but, there's going to be a good copy up any day now. So if I can find Monkey, we'll watch that tonight. And if not, we'll figure something out. I want to thank you for joining me. I'm so sick of talking. I'm so sick of talking. These live stream recaps take a lot of breath out of me. There's a lot of talking without any Amber talking in between. Thank you all for joining me at this look at, what's that? Beck's video. An Amber live stream recap. I was going to take tomorrow off, but I may film a reaction to her upload from today because I found it uniquely frustrating. I don't know why. I don't remember it, but I remember it pissed me off. Or maybe I'll save it for Friday. I don't know. If I don't see it tomorrow, I'll see it Friday. And if I don't see it Friday, I'll see it Saturday at the live stream. Or I'll see you tonight in the Discord. Thank you all for joining me. And Rio, wherever the hell he is, I have no idea. I have no idea. Have a great night, you guys. And until we meet again, you know the routine. Just, be kind. And hasta luego. Bye.